There we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? In the future, popping on now. I'm never sure if I'm going to leave these live or not, or leave these on, but perhaps I will. Today we're doing the dishes, trying to figure out some sculpture ideas. I think I know what I want to sculpt next of clay, but I also have some other things I'm going to do, including painting. Hello, Sherry, coming up on the comments there. Here, I'm going to switch this over to live chat instead of top chat so I can see everyone's comment. So, we did figure out how to slow it down so that the comments don't go so fast, which is good. Good morning. How did painting go? Painting is going good, actually. I actually am very much liking it. You can see it on Instagram. Oh, actually, I don't think I actually put a picture on it Instagram yet. But if you follow my Instagram, you'll be able to see that. Hello, Daryl. Hello, Hannah. Hello, E.T. Hello, Lorna. Hello, Christine. I'm working on it. I like where it's going. I did have an idea to make the background separate from the foreground, like as in it's two different pictures. But the idea I had is very similar to another artist's work that I know in real life, and I didn't want to do that because I wouldn't want him to think that I'm trying to steal his creative whatever you call it. He has what I wanted to do in a lot of his paintings, so I didn't do it. One thing I wanted to clear up, because I don't know how in the future how many people watch the whole video. I just want to say that for the quarantine slash self-isolation slash what's the other way to say it? Social distancing. So some folks think that I may have either intentionally or inadvertently violated the new Canadian laws based around self-quarantine from coming back from another country. I came back from the U.S. Way before the actual mandate to self-quarantine, and basically that doesn't apply to me. I didn't have to, it wasn't mandatory at the time that I came back. It was mandatory much later. So the way that my vlogs come out, or any video for that matter, they don't come out necessarily at the time that I stop filming them, because oftentimes I'm waiting for music, or I just haven't edited yet, or whatever. There could be so many different reasons that I haven't released it. So those videos showing me coming home came out way after I had already been home for a long time. I'm not sick. I don't have any symptoms. I know it can be symptomatic. Jesus, I can't say that. But in my case, I was fine. So if anyone's worried about that still, I basically in the same way. I came back a long time ago, so that doesn't apply to me. We are staying home as much as possible, just going to work, and yeah, there's Ashley. Just going to work, going to get groceries, and conducting my business, such as mailing out packages. And we try to do all the errands all at one time, so we only have to go out once, if that makes sense. So that's basically that. I didn't break any laws. The law didn't even exist yet. Actually, I don't even know if it's a law, or more so of a bylaw. Is it a law? Okay, it is a law. But I didn't break it. So I hope that puts some people at ease. Alright. Let's get some dishes done, shall we? Also, I'm not an idiot. I should say that. And Ashley is in healthcare, so I'm not going to be like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go out because I feel like it. I'm not that kind of person. That would be stupid. I like to think I'm not stupid. So everyone else, I hope is also following the guidelines and stuff so that this doesn't last so long. But anyways, how are you guys doing? What's going on? I only have a few dishes today because it's only from yesterday, but I figured I'd do a live just because of the amount of people who were saying that, and also, uh, people might be bored. They might want to watch someone do dishes. I don't know. I'm so jealous of all your cabinets. I have a one kitchen with very few cabinets and even less counter space. We have actually a pretty decent sized kitchen actually. I think they decided let's go with way too little bedrooms and way more space in the kitchen or something. Like this kitchen is probably twice the size it needs to be for this type of house, but I'm loving it. So we got a dining room, a formal dining room, and then in the kitchen we have space for a kitchen table. But what we're gonna do is have a island that I want to make. I want the legs to be knoll posts. Knoll posts are like the big posts in a banister, usually at the ends, sometimes in the middle as well. But I want those to be the legs, oak ones, and I want them all to be mismatched. Ashley really wants an oak one so that we can use it as a prep top, so you don't have to put like a cutting board down or anything like that. Like this is plywood, so this is getting damaged as we're, using it. It's been here for over a year now. It's holding up pretty good, but it was only meant to be temporary, and I was hoping at this time, around this time, I would be building new cabinets. Unfortunately, we can't do that right now because, everything that's going on. Plus, I have so many other things to do. But these are only supposed to, last for about a year, and it's good experimentation because I've never done a plywood countertop before, so I didn't know how well they would hold up. And I would, if you wanted a temporary counter space, I would totally recommend plywood. And if you want to dress it up a bit, I mean, my taste isn't everyone's taste, but do it whatever you want with it to make it look good. An epoxy resin probably would make it last much longer. All you'd have to do probably every once in a while is reglaze it or whatever you call it. But this, not bad. I still get your old chicken coops, all right, Zenobia? The chickens are doing good. One of them isn't laying her eggs every day, which is fine. But all the other ones are laying. Yeah, they're all doing good. I think, right? They're doing good. Huh?
She's an older hen, so she won't lay every day.
Oh, okay. The one hen that's not laying every day is actually older, so she won't lay every day anyways, because she's probably at the end of. Because chickens have like humans, so females have only so many eggs, and chickens, they only have so many eggs. They have way more than humans do, but they only have so many, and they slow down later on in their life, around the 2 to 3 year mark, depending on how they are cared for.
Depending on the breed as well.
And depending on the breed, says Ashley. So in like a factory farm, they want the most eggs possible. So they'll have like the lights on all day long, all night long. Because then you can sometimes get some chickens laying 2 eggs a day rather than just 1. Because it tricks them into thinking that it's always daytime. So their body is always like going through the process or whatever. And then in our type of setting, which is probably, is definitely better for the chicken's health, is they kind of cycle as they cycle. And then throughout the winter, because there's not as much daylight, they slow down, and most chickens don't lay in the winter time unless they're probably certain breeds, and then also their individual biology.
And if they're given supplemental light.
Oh, and supplemental light. So we didn't give them any supplemental light. We just had the regular daylight. So they have 3 windows in their coop, and then when it's dark outside, it's dark inside. We were hoping this summer to run electric out to the coop. Probably not going to be able to do that. We still wouldn't give them supplemental light. It's just when we go out there every evening to close their run, it's dark, so you got to bring a flashlight, which is fine, but it would be more awesome if you could just flip a switch and then it would light up, and then you could flip it off so that you wouldn't have to be holding a flashlight. Those plans are coming. We're also going to build a greenhouse that will need electric, but we're hoping that our electric can come from solar panels that we're going to put on the out of place, so we'll have like a one or two solar panels on there just so that it gives it some more texture, if you will. I don't know if that makes much sense, but just the skylight on the outside, the skylights don't look nice. They look nice on the inside because it's just nice to have that natural light flowing in, but on the outside it just looks like a weird bubble. And since we got like a triple glaze, like it's super high, so it doesn't look pretty on the outside. Sometimes you can make them like architectural so they do look nice, but not really with our style of house. We are sort of modernizing it a bit, kind of doing some contemporary design to kind of give it a mixed architectural look, but it still looks weird. Hi Josh, here in Norris City, Illinois. Husband cut grass here yesterday. Do you still have snow? Yes, we have snow. It just actually snowed yesterday for a long time, and this morning it was snowing. It looks like it has stopped now, but yeah, it's snowing. What's up with Jakota's internet? No Madness Monday. So Jakota has roommates, and probably it's none of my business to really say what's going on, but let's just say one of the roommates who doesn't pay for anything, who lives there for free, used up all the internet because they don't have a job, so they don't go anywhere, and they just this is what they do. He's a nice guy, but it's kind of annoying. He will he will have Netflix on the TV, then he will have a game on his iPad, and oftentimes he will also be listening to music on his phone. And that's using up a bunch of internet. So that's why there's no internet. Where we live, you have to pay for a data plan. Like out in the country, you don't get unlimited internet or anything like that. It's just a certain amount of gigs. And so they used it all up. And that's why. He did make an effort to say that, I believe, on his Instagram. So if you follow his Instagram, you can get those kind of messages, updates or whatever, if need be. I suppose I could have also said that so more people would understand. Are you on TikTok, Josh? If not, I think your video skills would be amazing on there. I'm not. I don't really want to be on any more social media platforms. I don't really care for. Sorry, I know it's going to be buffering, and that's because everyone's using the internet right now. So, everyone in my neighborhood, because everyone's home. What was I saying? I forget what I was saying. Sorry. Oh yeah, it took me forever to get Instagram. My friend Josh convinced me to get Instagram because he said it's great for artists, and it is. TikTok, I don't really care about making skits, so a lot of the TikToks that I've seen are similar to Vines, and Vines, I didn't care about that at all. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the learning curve and stuff when it comes to new online stuff. I'm not an old man, but like I just don't like it. So perhaps I will look into it if it's here to stay. If it falls away like Vine did, then whatever. Facebook I don't see going away, and I don't see Instagram going away because Facebook owns it. I know a lot of people don't like Facebook for varying reasons, but it's good for small businesses and it's good for artists because it's cheaper than having a website. My website, I mean, I pay for it every single year, but I don't do anything on it because it takes too long to update. And when something sells and blah, 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 and then having an order page and all, it's just, I'd rather just do it on Facebook with an email address. You know what I mean? Just the easier way to do it. As for videos, that's why I have YouTube. I don't need TikTok because I have the YouTube. If I was doing TikTok, maybe I would move to YouTube or put compilations or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will in the future. I don't freaking know. Anyways, oh, the comments disappeared. Hold on a second. Disappeared because I picked one. You can make videos where you show progress snippets on paintings and sculptures. Right, but I can do that on Instagram. Right? I understand the finding a whole new audience. That's kids for the most part, because a lot of kids go with the new stuff. And then people who have their own brands, if you will. It's kind of weird to say that, but yeah, people who have their own brands use that, right? And they take advantage of those things to make money. They're not really shopping for art. What would you call that? What do you call it when something's established as a place that you go to look at something?
Platform?
Platform? Yeah, but Flagstaff? What's Flagstaff mean?
Sounds like a five.
Like there's Twitter, there's Facebook, and there's Instagram. And then there's YouTube, I guess. Could also be a cornerstone. Maybe cornerstone? I don't know. Tell Ashley I said thank you for answering my question on the little egg. She says thank you. Your name disappeared. Flagship. What did I say? Flagstaff. I'm glad you show up regardless of how long you visit with us. What? Where did I go? Oh, you mean on the live? I like doing the lives. I don't like doing dishes. But they gotta be done. Ashley's over there, feet up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I don't mind doing the lives at all. So sometimes I just need to be on for like half an hour, and it'll be like 3 hours later, and I'm like, well, that got out of hand. Does anyone have any like probing questions? No, not probing questions. Any questions that I've seemed to have not answered or something like that? I'll try to look out for them. Although the comments aren't showing up. So the comments are probably gone for good now. That always happens for some reason. Hank seems to love your new truck as much as you do. Maybe. I don't know. I suppose he does.
He kind of lays funny in the back.
Yeah, he lays funny. Yeah. He likes being in the front, so he'll be sitting on the back seat, put his paws down on the floor, and then put his head like, I always call it sealing, because he always lays like a seal with his like arms tucked in and then his head stretched out. I think it's so freaking funny. But he does that on the center console, so able to go out. I'm sorry for the buffering. I see that as buffering.
Christy wants to know how often we clean the chicken coop. I scoop the poop with a cat litter scoop every day. And then we clean out the shavings once every 2 weeks.
Okay, did you hear that? Ashley said that she cleans up the chicken coop every day. Like she scoops out all the crap every day. Sometimes she does it twice a day. And then she flings it into the neighbor's yard. And no, she doesn't. She saves it for the garbage. Because we don't get garbage pickup, so we have to go bring it. So we put it in the garbage area. And then, I don't know what we're going to do in the summer. Because it's not going to smell great. And then every 2 weeks she changes out the litter, like the bedding and stuff. Sometimes more often than that, depending. Someone asked, dang it, I was going to try to remember it. Someone asked a question that I wanted to answer. When are you going to burn your old chicken coop? Next summer, hopefully, if we can get a permit. Do your neighbors ever sell his house? If so, you get more chill ones. Did your neighbor ever? He did not sell his house. I wish that I could buy it. I would probably rent out that house, and since it's already fenced in an area, I would want to just take the rest of the land and continue my trail through it around the pond, because whoever would rent it would still have, they would be able to come on the rest of the property as well. I wouldn't care, depending on who they are, but they would also have their own private fenced in area as well. And then I would also like to buy this person's land, because then I would have, let's see, their land, my land, and this land here all back onto a green space that is communal. Everyone uses it for whatever. People hunt back there and stuff as well. It's not huge, so when you see a deer stand, you're like, weird place for a deer stand, because there's a house right there. Because I live out, but it's still a subdivision. Everyone has like a few acres of land to themselves, but you can still see your neighbors from where your house stands, right? It's not like I have 80 acres or anything like that.
If you were saying to put the chicken poop on the garden, it will burn them.
Said something about using the chicken crap for fertilizer. Chicken fertilizer, chicken crap is not good for fertilizer after it's uh, like when it's first wasted. How do you say that? Laid? When it's first dropped, because it's very acidic, so it often burns a lot of vegetation. It's not good for your soil at first, so you gotta let it sit for a while, wait for like the bacteria to do its thing, chemical reactions. Okay, the question that I wanted to answer: how often do you check your emails for orders? So the email, mostly Ashley does, and she usually does it every day unless there is some other circumstance that doesn't allow her. So if you haven't gotten an email answered, let's say past 3 days, email again, or make sure that you're emailing the proper email. Uh, Try to be on top of that. Yesterday and today, sorry, yesterday I ordered, I sent out all the orders that I saw. So we made sure we checked all the emails. Some people take too long. No, that's not the right way to say it. Like we'll email someone and try to get all the info, but if it's after I've already gone to the post office or I've already packed up everything to go to the post office, then you just wait till the next week to order off or to send off your order. But basically every day we check, but that's not always true. Sometimes we're not able to check for whatever reasons. Zenovia says Hans likes poutine. Everyone likes poutine. Do you compost? We don't currently compost because we don't have a compost uh, pile established because we don't have our garden yet. What we want to do is lay out our garden plan so that we can put a compost area or whatever you would call it in like its vicinity, not in its exact or immediate vicinity because we don't want it to stink. But we are gonna set that up. We're gonna get a compost barrel, like like the kind that you like a Jack in the Box. It has a handle on it so it spins. And then we're also gonna have a compost pile. Oh yeah, Ashley said that the veggie and fruit scraps go to the chickens. So far, I've gone to the chickens, and they eat most of it. They don't like carrots. Something they didn't like carrots and something else. Chicken poop breaks down fast. Put it in your compost pile. All right. Compost Jack in the Box. Thanks, Zenobia. Do you have a good recipe I could use for poutine? Definitely. I mean, I know you didn't ask me, but if you want the best poutine, about 7 years ago, you have to go back in time. Go to the Tri Leisure Center in Spruce Grove and get one from Shots. Poutine is good, except for it's better at some places. You gotta have like good gravy, and you have to have good cheese. Lots of people prefer cheese curds because that's how it's supposed to be made, but I prefer shredded cheese because it just melts better and it gets more cheesy all over the place.
Someone says, what is poutine?
So poutine is fries or chips if you're from the UK or someplace like that. Gravy, I usually like a beef gravy, and then either cheese curds or shredded cheese. So it would be mozzarella cheese, I think, for the most part. Although you can have other cheese in there as well. And it's basically like a side dish. It's good. I didn't know that was a Canadian thing, but it is. I think it's from Quebec. Quebec, I think. I could be wrong.
Someone says, so cheesy fries with gravy.
Sort of. It's different than cheesy fries because cheesy fries is melted cheese on fries, whereas poutine is gravy fries that melts the cheese. It's different because it's different. It's the same, but it's different. You could compare it to that, yes, but it's not the same. Because I mean, we got cheesy fries. I think they're like poutine is up here, right? Let's say that's the top. Cheesy fries is like here, and then somewhere in the middle here would be like McDonald's fries, and then chips or something. Poutine is the best, is what I'm saying. We don't have poutine in the States. You do have it here and there. I know that in LA they have a poutine place. I forget what it's called, but I thought it was Canadian because it was a poutine place. I forget what it's called, but the logo, I have some stickers from there. The logo is like a dude's face. It's called like Dave's Poutine or something like that. Or Dean's Poutine or something. I forget. I think it's a dude's name and then poutine. I can't remember though. I had that not this last time I was in the US, but the time before. And to be honest, it actually wasn't the best poutine. Would love you to come to the UK and try traditional fish and chips. There's actually a place in Spruce Grove, which is a city that's really close to me, or it's more of a town that's called a city. They have a traditional fish and chips place. The dude is British or something. And then there's another place called Fathers. Is it Codfathers or Codfathers?
Godfather.
Okay, they're from Newfoundland, so it's different than what you guys would have. But I actually can't stand the taste of fish. It's so ugh, I can't stand it. But Ashley likes it. But anyways, they have fish and chips, whatever, and I did try the chips with vinegar and salt or whatever.
Malt vinegar.
Malt vinegar, yeah. It was good. I mean, it's actually was really good. In fact, back in elementary school, I went there almost every day for lunch. Never got any fish. I only got the chips. And Ashley would always steal my freaking fries.
How old were we?
I was probably 12 and 13. Yeah, 12 and 13. So I went there for 2 years. And her and her best friend, who's still her best friend, would always eat my freaking fries, which I didn't care because I liked her, but I did care because, like, that's my lunch. Oh, he's very nice. Look at this guy. But it didn't really work at the time.
I would say it did.
Battered sausage. I don't know what that is. People are talking amongst themselves, and I'm missing it. So, young love. We weren't in love.
No, we're involved.
Not when we were 12. Wait 2 more years. Then you know it's real. I like a logo, but with sausage. What? I'm lost. I'm totally lost here. We should oil this after we wash it.
Yeah.
Nottingham in the UK, where I am, has the country's best fish and chips shop. I was like, is that like a personal opinion, or is that like, was it rated that? Because I always wonder when people say it's the best. Like I just said that, I always say that the best donair shop is this one in Edmonton called Best Donair, ironically, or maybe unironically, I guess you would say. I went there just for the heck of it, and I was like, what the heck? Because if you don't know what a donair is, it's like, some people call it a gyro, which is, honestly, is different than a donair, but it's similar. It's like a wrap. It's got tzatziki sauce or sweet sauce. Sweet sauce is the superior sauce, I think, especially if it's homemade. But anyways, I worked at this donair shop. / pizza place, and That was the first donair I ever had, and I thought it was the best. So every other donair I had was definitely not that good, and plus they were always way smaller. And then they started making them smaller and smaller as prices went up. They kept upping their prices and then making their products smaller, and I was super bummed about that, especially since I worked there. And I always got in trouble for making them the size that we used to make them. But anyways, we I got I quit there because then I started working for the city, and then I started going to other donair places just because I like donairs. And then when I go back, refrigerate their meat and stuff like that, and it's gross. It's like, have you ever had a donut, like a fresh donut, and then put that same donut that you liked when it was fresh, and then put it in the fridge and then ate it later? Refrigerated donuts don't taste good at all. Tim Hortons, which is a coffee shop in Canada, it used to be a Canadian company, but it was bought by Burger King not too long ago. So there are some in the U.S. So they used to have fresh donuts made daily, but now they ship them in frozen and then they reheat them, and they taste way different. They taste subpar, and it's unfortunate. Anyways, that's how the donairs taste. So then I go to this one other donair place called Best Donair.
You're outside.
Oh yeah, shit. Oh, you're probably gonna miss that, but there's. Dang it! I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was a big cloud of snow that just went by. But anyways, when people say things are the best, I always wonder, like, what does that mean? Because like when I think of best donair, I'm like, yeah, it's the best because it so far is the best donair I've ever had. And then there's this place called Basil's 2 for 1, which is a chain in Stony Plain. They have the best fries besides McDonald's fries. They're so freaking delicious. And I remember him saying, "Do you want anything else?" And I'm like, for some reason, I just let this fly out of my mouth. I'm like, no, I don't like anything else here. Just your fries are good. And I was like, why did I say that? Because I don't like their donairs. They also have donairs, but they're very small and they're not very tasty. But anyways, if I liked fish and I was in the UK in your area, I would try it and then see. True, everyone believes their mom's cooking is the best. Uh, that's because that's what they grew up on. So they what do you call that? They 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 build up a tolerance to their mom's cooking, and then it's like kind of like Stockholm syndrome, and they start believing that they like it. No, I'm just playing. People like their mom's cooking because that's what they grew up on, and that's what they know, and that's what they've become accustomed to. Like I think my mom makes the best pumpkin pie, but Ashley thinks it tastes like any other pumpkin pie she's ever had, which is like should be punishable, to be honest. It, uh, oh yeah, Ashley just mentioned that she also makes good egg sandwiches. So you know, like an egg salad sandwich, they're kind of like the sandwich that you get, and it's never that good, but it's okay. Well, my mom makes the best, in my opinion, egg sandwiches. I don't understand why they're so much better than everyone else's that I've tried. She has like this thing that she does. I don't know. My mom grew up in a Mennonite uh, community. She's not Mennonite. If you ever call her Mennonite, she gets upset because she doesn't like Mennonites. Or she doesn't not like Mennonites. She just doesn't like the way they're so oppressive. Uh, or at least where she grew up, they were. Um, but um, so Mennonites. I was actually talking to my brother Ken about this yesterday. They came up with a lot of like during the Depression. They came up with a lot of recipes that now are super good because they had to get creative with their limited food that they had at the time. At least in this area where they were up north here in Alberta. They have so Ken told me about this dessert dish sort of thing that apparently is really good to a lot of people. And for some reason, I don't remember why we were talking about this. I think we're talking about it because of now we might be heading into another depression. Hopefully not, but we might be. And how people might have to get creative with their food again to not have to keep eating the same thing. But he's like, the recipe was basically stale bread, so bread that's no longer, it's not moldy or anything, but it's not good to eat as bread anymore. It would be homemade, so it spoils way faster than like a store bought bread, for the most part. So you get the stale bread. You don't want to eat it anymore, but you don't want to starve, so you do eat it, but you got to make it taste good. So you get that. You get, what was it? Coffee and salt? Is that what he said? Doesn't sound like that would be good, but apparently it's delicious. I don't like coffee, so I probably wouldn't like it, but I feel like, or maybe there was sugar. Ken doesn't like coffee either, but he says he remembers it being good when he had it when he was a kid. Bread pudding out of old bread. Yeah, my mom used to do that because then she would freeze it after. I love bread pudding. And I don't love just my mom's bread pudding. I like a lot of bread pudding. Bread pudding and with ice cream is good. I'm not sure those are supposed to be eaten together, but we always did. Me and my little brother Dakota. And what do you call it? With the chocolate sauce on it. That's what we'd always have. So, yeah. Yeah, mayonnaise is wonderful. Is wonderful. Stale bread is great for French toast. That makes sense because French toast, yeah, like it's basically a pound of sugar, so it would mask any sort of taste that you wouldn't like. But French toast is freaking delicious. The first time I had French toast, I didn't understand what that was because I was just like, toast? Yeah, sure, I'll have some toast. And then it was like this pancake, good, or it wasn't pancake toast. It was like, but you put syrup on it, so I was like, this is like a pancake. It's so good.
All this talk about food would make me hungry.
Okay, we're almost done here. Also, you make croutons out of stale bread. That is true. I'm making it later. Haven't had a good one in years. Do they call it French toast in France? They probably call it breakfast toast or something. Or they probably call it toast! And then they like twirl their mustache and tip their beret. Leslie says, I've gained 5 pounds. Anyone else? Because of the food talk. Hey Josh, have you seen Alex plans to make an addition to his shop? And if so, what do you think about it? Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it probably before you guys did. Although, actually, I saw his actual finished plan or whatever on the video. But he's been talking their final design there, or so far as their final design is excellent. I like it being a garage. I mean, he always wanted it to be a garage, and then he changed his mind because there was some companies who were going to do the outer work, whatever, were like astronomically expensive, which was insane. He showed me some of the quotes, or the one quote, anyways, and I was like, this is robbery. That doesn't even make any sense. But anyways, so we did have some conversations about it, and yeah, no, he's so a lot of people don't realize this, but he's actually a really good artist, and he has some good ideas, or he has a lot of good ideas actually, and yeah, so I always figured it would come out, it would be good. Is it glitching for everyone or just me? Oh, I don't know. Potato salad with mayo, grated cheese, and spring onions. Oomph. Oomph. How do you say that? Oomph. French toast is called pain perdu in French. It's a reference to stale bread. How do you say that? Pain perdu. Alex is a man of many, many talents. Well, at least 2 talents. But yeah, no, he's a good artist, and he's also a good, he's a pretty good storyteller, I would say. He's an okay videographer, I would say. He's a good businessman. He's very kind. He's a very, let's say, helpful is not the right word. He's beyond helpful. Yeah, he's awesome. Yes, I was buffering every once in a while too. Yeah, it's going to be buffery because in my area the internet is shared by everyone because we all have hubs, and when everyone is on the internet, it gets slow for everyone. You're gonna hear Hank barking at the kids next door, playing with their dog because he's jealous. You see him? Josh, you should try 99th Street. So 99th Street would be over there. That's far. 99th Street, 34 Avenue. Oh, that's way south. That actually wouldn't be that far. Am I still making roses? Ashley asked me. Said someone asked that. Yes, I am. Feel so lucky to catch Josh live and chat with all his fans. You guys slash gals are the best. Oh, Bonnie Howell is back again. That donair place, I probably will try it if I ever come across it. Every time I'm hungry and I see a donair place nearby, I will try to go to it, just because I want to. I just love donairs; they're so good. So yeah. Is there anything on the coffee table? No. What about that? What about that mug on the table? Okay. I have a rose my son made in trade school. It's iron with a vase. Nice. What about that one?
No,
there's no comments. If I missed your question, just ask it again and I will try to get to it. I'm getting a phone call. I gotta answer. I'm back. Oh, I lost everyone except for 40 people. Sorry that took so long. I was just talking to Johnny B. A lot of you know Johnny B. Shred CT says I can't comment. It keeps deleting. That's odd. I was talking to Johnny B. Some of you know Johnny B. My good friend. Also, we do some contracting work together. He's been on my blog a couple times. Oh, yeah, okay. Check this out, guys. Look at our colorful range of eggs. So we keep the cartons from when we bought them, and now we have a whole bunch. And now we're going to use them for our own eggs. No sound and I'll speed it up. Anyone else having this problem? Really? That's weird. Nice egg collection. I know, right? It's so cool having freaking chickens. And, I mean, we kind of always talked about maybe getting chickens, but then we were like, we're probably not going to get any chickens. And then I got them by accident, and then we were just like, oh yeah, may as well go with that. Hold on a second. I see that this is... Ashley is killing the chicken game. Is she? She does take care of them really well. It's like, yeah. Compared to like the other people that we see, besides the guy who we actually bought the chickens from, the ones that we did buy, his coops are really nice. But like, a lot of the chicken houses around here are like super not nice. And I know there's like different ways of taking care of them. Birds are messy. But Ash's coop, it's like, it always looks, like, it almost always looks clean. Like our old chicken coop, the one that was just here when we got here, That thing is disgusting. It's like this layer, this much crap. So we
It's
were,
not like deep litter, it's crap
yeah, it's not deep litter. There's probably litter in there, but
at
like
some point.
it's mostly crap. And like we were going to clean it out and then just use it as a shed, but it's disgusting. So we're not going to. We're just gonna burn it. It's no good. No bueno. Sounds like my ex mostly crap. Hey Josh, did you get your chickens cheap? No, we did not. They were expensive, but that's because they are cared for in an expensive way, and they are breeds that just cost more. So no, we did not.
So cheap as in like cheap.
Yeah, that was funny. I wish I had a. There we go. Get it cheap? Yeah, I got it. My hubby and like my hubby and fishing. By the time you factor the cost of coop and upkeep, it makes out. Like my hubby and fishing. By the time you factor in cost of coop and upkeep, it works out to be about $250 per dozen. Our fish here from fishing trip works out to be $100 a pound.
Yeah, right now we're definitely still paying off the coop.
Oh yeah, we're definitely paying off the coop. Yeah, our coop cost $5,000 to make, even with all the free material we got from, what was his name? John? Shoot, I forget his name. And
Colin.
no, I'm not talking about that guy. But yes, him as well. The guy who gave us all the siding. I think his name was John, but that could be totally wrong. I don't remember what his name was. Dang it. Him. And also Colin, who gave us the massive discount on the material, on the wood, for like the new material. We still paid $5,000 for it. And while we were being conservative, it might have even been more than that. But we were. This was like a while ago. Ashley's friend was over, and I think she must have asked how much it was or something like that. But anyways, worth it because it's freaking awesome. And when I say that we're paying it off, we didn't go in debt making it or anything like that. It's just, that costs way more than we thought it would. I thought I would spend about $1,000 on it, and it just got out of hand. I was just like, you know what would be cool if we also did this, and if we also did that. How about this? How about that? How about and I just kept going.
We wanted to be part of our property for years.
Right. We wanted it. So Ashley said we wanted it to be part of our property. What? For years? Yeah, right. But I also that we wanted it to look nice. Like there's lots of chicken coops that are nice, and then there's some that are like, oh, and that's obviously the chicken coop. Look at that little thing over there. That's not very. I wanted it to add to the aesthetic of the property, not necessarily just be utilitarian. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be like look nice and function, which it does. Come on. There we go. Your chicken coop is something I would live in, LOL, says Fox. Well, you wouldn't want to live in it in the summertime when they live in it because they stink. It's not a chicken coop, it's a chicken mothership. Dale, the guy who owns Delcon Visual Arts Gallery and also did the Alberta Roads song, like the rendition of Country Roads in the two videos that I put it in. He called it Chateau Poulet or something like. What did he call it? Chateau Poulet? Yeah. He's when I went into the gallery, he's like, "How's Chateau Poulet?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "That's what I call your chicken coop." That's kind of cool. He's probably the most supportive gallery owner that I deal with. Actually, I was actually talking to my friend Day One yesterday, And he also said the same thing. And he is. He's the best I think the best gallery owner. Like the most goes to all the shows that he can, even if it's not in his gallery. Goes to watches videos. He might actually be watching this, which would be kind of embarrassing. But yeah, he's awesome. Hi Kathleen. Hey Photo. Hey Phil. LOL. It's reconnecting. It's buffering again. I literally only got out to walk my dog. It's very tough. Extremely tough. I literally only go out to walk my dog. Right? Yeah, it sucks. Luckily, we live in the country, so there's not very much traffic, so you can go anytime you want, basically, because you're not going to be in close proximity to anyone. And when we do pass someone, like, you just go to the other side of the road, and then you're good. Or if you're in the trail, you just hop off the trail and let someone pass, and then you get back on. Thank you, Ashley, for working with the public. Medical field, right? Medical field, is executioner part of the medical field? Yeah, she is. She is part of the medical field. She's not an executioner. I was just kidding. But yeah, she is part of the medical field, doing medical stuff, saving lives, taking names. Okay. Due to the quarantine, I will only be telling inside jokes. Knee slapper. No snow here in my area of southern Ontario. Maine got over 6 inches last night. It actually snowed quite a bit. You can't see, well, you can see the imprints of past snow or footprints, but not well. I'm just gonna wipe this over here. What are these freaking eggs? Oh, this one's ripped.
Yeah.
Toss it in the tall grass?
I'm using them as rags.
Use it as a rag?
Wait, I'll wash it.
Okay, drop kick it. Oh, I didn't wash this freaking fork. Okay, one more thing to wash. Just gonna rinse off this rag, or this dishcloth. Was it Sylvia who got us a whole bunch of new ones? I don't remember who it was, but whoever gave us a whole bunch of new ones, like, it came at the right time, because like this one is raggedy. Please subscribe to Josh Alexander if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell icon. Thank you. Which you should put in the, you should shout yourself out. I'm doing my dishes too. My wife would be upset if I got caught watching you do it and not doing ours.
So, Rain says, if someone wants to get into finger painting, what's advice in getting started?
Someone wants to get into finger painting. What's some good advice to get started? Well, I'm not one to give good advice necessarily, but how I did it is through laziness. But if you want to do it intentionally, you should. Okay, so hold on. Let's go sit down for a second. Let's go sit down. Let's go over. I'm just gonna unplug us here. I'm gonna grab my cord here and grab this here. Not a sponsor, but I love A&W root beer. Okay, so let's try to do this. Maybe we'll just have to go down. It works! Okay. How do I bring this down? Whoa! Okay. Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so the question was, if someone wants to get into... Ah, crap. This is not going to be very straight, I'm sorry. My setup is hilarious. I'll show you if I remember. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the question was, if someone wants to get into finger painting, what is some advice that I would give to help set you along? So, how I got into it was I just painted normally with brushes, quit washing the brushes because I was too lazy, and then the brushes would be only good the one time I used them, and then I would throw them out and they'd become expensive. Because of that. What's up? Oh. Don't look at other people's addresses.
The other paper around.
Also this. That's privileged information. What is that?
There you go.
You probably couldn't see anyways. That's
Everything.
high top secret information from the FBI. Even though we're in Canada, so it's from the, no, it's not from it. Okay, so that's how I got into it. Start with finger painting. What you can do is, I guess it depends on what you want to do. Like, is that what you want to do? Like, do you want to sell? Do you want, who asked that question? If you want to do that to sell, whoever asked that, could you just,
I forget what the name was. Rain something?
okay. I just guess I need to know if you want to do it on a basis of selling.
A Rains.
Rains?
Yeah, first initial is A.
A Rains. So,
Potentially sell, yes.
potentially sell. Okay. So, if that's probably a shy way of saying definitely sell, and I want to make a living doing it. So, making a living doing art is difficult at first, and then once you get your collectors and fans, then it gets a little easier. And how you can do that is with your art being unique. And you don't have to paint a subject that's unique, but being a finger painter is unique. So definitely advertise it as the thing that you do. So I have, like, when I do it, I don't really do them anymore, but when I did do the shows that were like a community show where it'd be like a market or something like that, it would be, let's see here. Let's say it was a tent operation and it would be in a field somewhere, or like say on the street or something like that. I would have a sign that would say, like, for example, My Hands Gallery, and then it would say fine art finger painting underneath it. And that makes people go, like, some people will be like, these are finger paintings. Excuse me, sorry. I almost burped because of my root beer. It's coming. There we go, excuse me. Then they'll be like, so if they're good paintings, or what would be considered good even if they were just regular paintings, then you got that handle on it. So what I would do, let's say if I could do it again, is I would be more, what's the word? Less, not arrogant. That's not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for, Ashley? I would be more narcissist about it. No, that's not the right word either.
Confident?
Sell yourself.
Confident.
No, not confidence. I knew I was good at making the pictures, but I wasn't really like, yeah, these are awesome because I did them. I was just like, yeah, I'm an artist and I happen to finger paint. And then a little bit later on, I was like, you know what? Not very many people finger paint. This is way, in my opinion, way cooler than just if I did it with a brush. Not that it wouldn't be impressive as well if I did it with a brush. It's just more impressive if you do it with your fingers somehow. And so I would do that if I were you. I would be like, yeah, these are finger paintings. These are not regular paintings. Because people, if you have a sign that says it, if you did these kind of shows and stuff, people will tell you all the time that they don't believe that they're finger painting. Some people will say it as a compliment, and some people will say it because they don't actually believe you and they think that you're lying. Happens to me all the time. Then people will sometimes ask you to show them an example. If you're doing a show, you can invite them to your show, and then they'll be more impressed, and then they will want to invite their friends and say, dude, you're never gonna believe it. I found this person who's a finger painter, and painted this picture. Now, if you're doing abstract stuff, it may not be as impressive. So I don't know what your style of art is, but yeah. So I would do that where you would advertise that it's finger painting, not subtly, just like this is a finger painting. There's a couple more. I don't know if famous would be the right word, finger painters out there, but like it's still very new, if you will. It's very not rare, but it's rare. Not very many people finger paint, and the people who do, don't necessarily do it well. So practice, obviously, and paint as much as you can. I used to paint every single day almost. Let's say, how many days are there in a year? 365? I'd paint like 350 days of the year. You know, I didn't get at it, and the better your own style will emerge. So even though there are other finger painters out there, I think my style, it's easier to see, like, to differentiate me from other ones, even though it might be a similar style or similar genre or anything like that. I don't know. Does that answer your question? I have the rooster poster and show it to everyone. Thanks, Michelle. Does that answer the question? I don't know. Planting them today, says Zenobia. Not to mention, thank you so much for the seeds. Someone sent seeds to someone. What? Zenobia got seeds from David Copperfield. We did too, right? Marigolds?
We got some from, I can't remember her name.
I think it was her.
My mom's bringing us some back. They're gonna be here.
Okay.
They haven't left yet.
Okay. I find that I can spot your work now, Josh. Awesome. Yeah, they're, I think I'm not the best artist in the world, but I think that I'm good. I think if I knew more technical methods and stuff, I would be better. And if I knew how to do anatomy, like if I understood anatomy a little better, I would also be better. But I think I make nice pictures. I sketch portraits. Oh, she's saying, or he or she. I sketch portraits, but I paint landscapes and abstracts. Okay, so abstracts, when it comes to finger painting, won't be as impressive to people. That's just me being honest. I don't really like abstract paintings too much, but landscapes, although not as impressive to the general public, when it compared to, like, say, portraits, that's still super cool to be able to be like, oh yeah, check this out, whatever it is, and then you have it as a finger painting. So let's say you have a gallery show, or even just at a coffee shop, wherever. I don't know where you're at right now, but let's just say most people start at like coffee shops, bookstores, places like that. On your card, you can have the title of your painting, and then have finger painting by your name, right? So whatever you use as your moniker, or if you use your real name. So finger painting by, not just acrylic or oil or whatever method or whatever medium you use. Just say finger painting by, or acrylic finger painting by so and so, because people read those cards even though they're typically not interested in what they say. But when it says finger painting, they will be like, holy crap, that's a finger painting. That's amazing. So the abstracts are a little different, but that's also my personal opinion. I don't like abstracts, so I can't really give advice on that. So
I was gonna say, one thing that you do and that you still do is you like go and talk to like everyone in every store and like.
Oh yeah,
make
okay.
connections.
So Ashley just said one thing that I do. It's probably annoying to some folks, but I don't care. Is I go to places that not help. Oftentimes when people hear finger painting, they assume that it's either childish type art, or it's just generally not good, or that it's abstract, and a lot of people don't understand abstract, myself included, so they're not really interested in even hearing more. So when you can show them something that's a picture and that it's finger painting, they'll think that's amazing. So what I do, I still do this, I've done it for years. When I see a place that I like, just because I like it, such as Legit Kicks, the shoe store that I've shown in my blogs a couple times. I don't. My goal is not to have my art in shoe stores, but I just liked his freaking shoe store. I thought it was so cool. Nice, clean, white, gallery-esque walls, and I was just like, I want to put my art in here. So if I paint basketball people, basketball players, it'll fit the store. If I painted a lion, for example, it wouldn't really fit for the most part, unless there was like some sports figure or something like that that was also known as the lion or something like that. So yeah, do that. Coffee shops are very easy to get into, especially if it's a new coffee shop, because then you can cut the line. Also, if you're a good artist, but who also is helpful, or what's another word for that? Like, you will go above and beyond what you're expected to do. You can often cut the line in front of other people who are just waiting their turn, not doing anything to help the gallery or help the coffee shop or help the whatever the place is.
Relationships and friendships.
Yeah, so get a personal relationship going with these people, and don't do it out of what can you do for me. Actually, be genuine about it, because the gallery owners who I've made friends with, I'm friends with them. It wasn't only to skip lines. I didn't even expect that to be an option the first time I did it. I just was like, these people are dope. I wanna be friends with them. And now I'm friends with them. So, it's always good to have more friends if they're genuine friends, right? It's terrible to use people, so don't use them. It's just friendship can be a tool, even though that's not necessarily the shaking hands is good.
What's it called? Networking?
Yeah, networking. So you don't have to be a part of like these network groups where you have to pay to be part of their network. Those are, in my opinion, trash. Like, even in my vlog, I went to one because of my plumber. My plumber is awesome. He's actually asked me if I wanted to do jobs that his clients needed done. And then I went to this networking thing with him. I didn't join it. He's joined it, and it's been good for him. But joining those things where you have to pay $1,000 a year so that people will give your phone numbers, that's not. They're doing it because you're part of the network, not because you're friends with them. And there's nothing wrong with joining those types of things. They're helpful to a lot of people. They're just not my thing, because I would rather be friends with them. Right? I'm friends with Johnny B. I'm friends with Rory now, the plumber. I'm friends with some of my best friends are all contractors. I give them the work if I can, or if they want it. If they don't want it, then I will hire, like, say I'm the general or whatever, I will hire someone just off of the street, whatever. But same goes for art. If you're the person who is lending the hand when it's not expected, let's say you hang a gallery wall, or let's say you help take down a show, or let's say that you put out postcards or whatever they are that's advertising for the show. Those gallery owners are going to be, or whatever place you're displaying, are going to be grateful for that, because people don't typically do that. And I mean, I did it because it's just me. I would do that anyways. But in doing that, it's forwarded sales, more relationships with other gallery owners, other shows coming up in the communities that I'm initially helping out and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff is good. I agree about the network events like BNI. I go to a couple of free ones, and I had lots of work that way. Yeah, so I went to a BNI networking thing. That's the one that was. And for me, it just didn't make sense, because, like, so you introduce yourself. I was like, I'm a contractor I said I'm an artist who does contracting with reclaimed and upcycled materials. And not everyone, there was probably like 60 people there. I probably had 30 people, 20, let's say 20 people or so. It's not really my jam, so I didn't pursue it as a thing, because I don't want to do contracting work unless it's something that I have control over with the client. I don't want to have to go through someone else to then be able to do it. I want to deal with the client. I want to do my idea ultimately, but it's the client's place. So if it was their house, I can't just be like, it'd be really cool if we had an elephant coming out of the ceiling, maybe, right? That's not everyone's taste. That's just a weird example. I probably wouldn't do that, but it would be something that I would think was cool and that they might not think is cool. But they might be like, oh, how about a giraffe? A giraffe, oh, that actually would be cool. Imagine a giraffe's neck coming through the wall and then eating something on the ground. That would be cool. But that might be something. And then, the compromise, it would be still something cool that I could design and make and put in their house as a fixture or whatever. That would probably be more suited for like a restaurant or something. Not a restaurant necessarily, but like a place a business, not necessarily a home. But those are the types of things that I like. And in shaking hands, people were like, hey, that kid who does the whatever, we should get him to do this. Like, I get calls all the time asking if I need this or want that or do this or whatever, right? And it's awesome because I put in the work to be able to have those things. A lot of people think they'll say to me, it's easy for you because of blah, blah, blah. They'll have a reason for things being easy for me. It's not easy for me necessarily. The reason why I get certain things is because of the relationships that I form. So,
Takes a lot of time.
and it takes a long time, right? I've been doing art for 7 years. If I had done the lazy thing and just said, poor me, that art's not paying the bills, I would have given up, possibly. I love art, so I kept doing it. I accidentally started painting, and then I just liked it. And then I was like, you know what? I sold my first 3 paintings, and I was like, okay. Then I sold my 4th. Actually, no, I didn't sell my 4th. I actually have that downstairs. But I sold a whole bunch of paintings, and then Ashley convinced me to go to Art Walk because one of her coworkers was going to Art Walk as just to check it out. And then, so I did Art Walk, and then I made $700 or something like that. Everyone in my area, I should say. And then people who came up, they asked me if I wanted to be in their galleries. I took all their cards. I was an idiot and said no to 3 people. Stupid. Anytime a gallery wants your work, say yes. And then say no later if you decide it's not a good fit. If a gallery wants your work, it means that you are worth selling. Usually. Sometimes the gallery is shit, but not always. In fact, mostly not. So there is that. So I said no to 3 galleries in one freaking day just because I didn't like one person. I didn't like the lady who, just the way she talked to me. So I was like, nope. And then 2 other ones, I don't remember why I said no to them. But then I did get into one, which was my first gallery. Right, I was just naive. But if anyone asks you to be in their gallery, say yes first, and then decide later if you don't want to be in it to not be in it. Because if you say no right away, you don't know if you want to be in it or not, based off of maybe your first interaction. But once you get to know the gallery and how it works and whatever, then you can decide.
Hey, Rain says they have an art walk there, but she never entered because she didn't think she was good enough.
Okay, so she says that she has an art walk where she's at, or he. Are you a guy or girl? I'm assuming you're a girl just based on your name being Rain.
That's the last name.
So you could be a guy, I don't know. So you're saying that there's an art walk where you're at, but you didn't enter because you don't think you're good enough. So go to the art walk, maybe. Did you go to the art walk? Look at all the artists. Maybe bring a friend with you. So this is kind of not the best way to go about it, but it will maybe boost your confidence. If you bring a friend with you who's not a bullshitter, and you go to places, don't say this in front of the other artists, or don't let her or him say this in front of the other artists, but you will hear people say, you're way better than this, or you could do that better, whatever. If they're not just blowing smoke, listen to that, because that means something. People don't say that normally for no reason. That doesn't mean that artist is bad or anything. It just means that you're good, or you're as good or better, or whatever. Right? Then, if anyone ever asks you to paint something or draw something, like no one says, oh man, I'm going to get my neighbor to plow my driveway because he did such a bad job on his. No, that's just an example because my neighbor does my driveway sometimes.
He doesn't do a bad job on his either.
Hmm?
He doesn't do a bad job either.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do a bad job. Right. No, so I'm saying like, if I needed it done, I would ask him because he does a good job, not because he doesn't do a good job. You know what I mean? Same goes for art. People don't want to hang crap on their wall. They want to hang stuff that they like. So if you have people who are buying it or asking for it, say even just for free, people don't want to hang free bad stuff on their wall either. So people are normally, or let's say are often their own worst critic, and that is basically a poison. It stunts your growth as an artist or as anything that you practice in, right? So if you think you're bad, that's not necessarily a bad thing because it helps you grow. But if it becomes
Burden.
I don't know what the word is. If it becomes
Stumbling block.
yeah, stumbling block, that's what could be it. Then it's a poison. It's always good to be critical of yourself. It's just not good to necessarily be get in your own way. Because if you're drawing, you obviously think that it's something worth pursuing. Otherwise, why would you do it? And if you think that it's bad, well, then you're going to get good the more you do it. Almost anyone can learn how to draw or paint or whatever. There's plenty of people who just pick it up for the first time and are good. Uh, I've always been decent at doing art stuff, but I think it's more so because of my creativity, not because of my technical ability. I just think this sounds arrogant, and I know it does. It sounds self-pretentious. I don't know what the word is, but I think I'm the most creative person I know. I do. It's true.
Not that other people aren't creative.
Not that other people aren't creative. I just think I'm more creative. I think I have better ideas than a lot of people. I don't have better ideas than every other person. I just think if you had to pick a group of people that are the best at being creative, I would excellent ideas. Now, whether or not I execute them in the best way, that's another story. I just think my ideas, sometimes my ideas will belong to someone else's craftsmanship. You know what I mean? I might not just be able to do my idea necessarily. So, which is to say, don't get in your own way because you're probably good and it's probably worth pursuing. Yeah, I don't know what if people are asking for your art or whatever, but yeah, there will always be someone who pity likes your art, but someone who doesn't know you is probably not going to be that person. So yeah, and if they want to buy it, that doesn't make any sense. People will be like, "Oh, that's pretty. My walls are full." That'll be someone who doesn't like it, or maybe their walls really are full.
Or they don't want to spend the money.
Or they don't want to spend the money because sometimes they don't have the money, right? That's a good point. Because lots of people like lots of art. I love tons of artists' art, and I just can't afford it, so I won't buy it. But I wish I could. But even if I could afford it, perhaps I still wouldn't buy it because I know what it's like to have no money. So to buy something that's thousands of dollars to me is foolish based on where I'm at and where I've been financially almost my whole life. You know what I mean? So there is that as well. So just because someone won't buy something or doesn't want to hang it or something doesn't mean that it's not good as well. That's a good point. Is that helpful? I don't know because I don't actually know what I'm doing. I just do it. And it seems to work. So
I think it's things you learned over time too, though.
yeah. Yeah, I've been doing art for 7 years. I guess almost 8 years now. All right, this would be the 8th year coming up. Or will it be the 7th year coming up? 2012. What's it now?
2020.
It's 8 years. Holy shit. I've been doing art for 8 years. And then I've expanded, right? I used to only paint. Now I do sculpture of varying materials and mediums. I like it. I like it for more than satisfaction from other people liking it. I like it because I actually like it, and I like when I create something and I'm like, it's cool because I don't know. I just like cool stuff. So when it's something, I think I'm good, but I really don't know how to explain it the way that I have it in my head, and which is why I'm starting to ramble now. Is there another question? Let's go down here. I started out doing guitar picks, and now look at what I'm doing. He's doing banjo picks now as well, Matthew Fox. Yeah, Josh, you are. If you don't have a high opinion of yourself and your work, no one will. It's not false pride. No, I don't think it's false pride. It is a healthy pride, but it's also when I see someone who gets recognition for something, I love that because they're doing their thing and they're doing good. Now, if it's someone who's down on themselves, that's even better because then you can just be like, "Word, look at that." Now they'll know that they're good, and hopefully that'll help them do more for themselves and for their art. I like drawing on the occasion, but I keep it to myself. Lindsay, that's probably because you suck. I'm just playing. I'm only saying that because she's a regular. I don't think she sucks. She actually did a fan art of me, which I thought was so cool.
So my friend was wondering if you've ever had trouble letting go of a piece that you really like doing.
Have I ever looked at a piece as more than something to sell?
Yeah, I think you have.
Probably some,
I
yeah.
can't think of one specifically, but I remember that there's been that one you're like, oh, I don't want to sell it.
Probably my favorite painting is the Muhammad Ali versus Floyd Patterson, but I would sell that. Now, when it comes to sculpture, when I built the ram for the Canada Winter Games, I didn't want to sell that.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was so cool. Like, I built the body and then I built the head, and I was just like, oh, this is so awesome. But I ultimately did sell it, and so I don't know. There are some things where, yeah, I do have trouble letting go of it to sell it. I'm just like, this thing is so dope. That box, probably.
Mm.
So I made a box that's
You've shown it before.
yeah, I've shown it before. I didn't think I would ever sell it, but I would sell it now. It's as time goes on, I think, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if there's much that I wouldn't necessarily sell, but that's a good question, but I don't know what the answer is. Let's see here. The ram sculpture would look so cool in your yard. Yeah, I probably will make another one. Not necessarily of a ram, but I was thinking about making a moose that's life size and putting it in the trees. That would be cool. But if it fell over, I wouldn't be able to pick it back up. What would be a let go price for the box, say? Probably like, I don't know, it took me a while to make. That was before I had a welder.
And it's like a piece of wood that you won't ever find again like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's unique.
Okay, so there's a story behind this. So if you follow Ashley's Instagram, wait, do you have that picture on your Instagram? Probably not. But if you follow Ashley's Instagram, maybe she'll put it on. There's a picture of me digging this out of the sand that she took. Let me grab it. Okay. So this piece of wood here was buried in the sand on the beach. Now I know there are laws against taking stuff from provincial parks, but I'm native. I can do that if I want.
It wasn't the provincial park, that one.
Oh yeah, also it wasn't provincial park. I forgot about that. That's true.
We were camping at the provincial park. It was a different beach.
Wow, that's dusty.
Oh.
It's hard to dust this because it's so, you can see where we tried to dust it, but there's like lint on it. I should have lacquered it. So what I normally do is spray it off with the compressor, but don't have a compressor set up. So anyways, this is the box. And this lock here, I had to buy the lock because I needed to find a little one. The lock was freaking $50 from an antique store. For some reason, I can't get it off right now. But anyways, this box, I thought it would be cool to build a trunk out of a tree trunk, sort of thing. I also have this idea to make a chest where the top, the roll top, is a rib cage. So like a chest. Oh, there we go. That one I'm actually making with Grizzly Oak. We started it like 3 years ago, and then he's just never come back to finish it. But anyways, this is the lock. We keep our fossils and stuff in here. But anyways, if you watch the video, then you can see all those. This chest at the time, I didn't want to sell it. I think I did put it in the store though. Did I? We had this store, me and Will, my brother Will, and I think I may have put it in there, but I don't remember. But what was the price? I don't know. It'd probably be. I didn't even finish it yet. I didn't even put the liner on the inside, but probably like. I don't know. Look.
This is like a unique piece of wood you'll never find
Yeah.
again.
This piece of wood here, like as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is freaking perfect. So sometimes there's shapes. Sometimes they're natural, sometimes they're man-made. I'm just like, this piece I won't find again. I really want this to be this thing. So it's kind of hard to put prices on certain things. And sometimes I just want to keep them. So I don't even know what I would sell it for. Maybe like $1 million. No. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't say. Because I like it too much. So here's an example of something. I would sell it, but I don't know what for. Okay. Hi Josh, I draw as good as you, but your paintings come to life. Jealous. Nice. I'm actually not a very good drawer, but if you consider yourself a good drawer, then I thank you. Would 500 be in the ballpark? I I don't know. If you were serious about that and you emailed me, then maybe I'd have to think about it. But like, I can't even say. I would have to finish it as well. I'd have to put. I was planning on putting felt on the inside because I pocket screwed the wood together to hold it together, and so it still needs to be finished. I can't. I don't know.
Someone asked, Norma asked if we're going to vlog when we start the garden.
Are we gonna we're probably gonna have to put our garden plan on hold, but we're still gonna build a garden. So what we might do is do part of our garden and then roughly lay out the rest of the garden that we may not be able to build. Because we wanted to have raised garden beds and then an in-ground bed for potatoes and carrots and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to say. I also want to do a root cellar. We're definitely not going to be able to afford to do that because we have to hire a shovel or we dig it by hand, but it's clay, so that's going to take. Who knows? We might end up doing it. Might have if the quarantine is over, or the social distancing thing is over, we might have a shovel party or something. But like that is something that we are going to vlog about, but it's probably not going to go like we wanted it to. We were going to vlog about it the same way I vlogged the chicken coop, where the videos would only be the thing that we're focusing on, where a lot of my vlogs are kind of whatever I happen to be doing the day. So when I did the chicken coop stuff, even though I did other stuff during the day, I only basically filmed working on the coop. So these videos, who knows? Depending on how things go, depending on money, depending on all that kind of stuff, it all depends. But yeah, we are going to vlog about it. We want to do raised garden beds. We want to do in-ground garden beds. We want to what do you call it? We want to move some of the raspberries so that they have rows, but rows like I really want to have like thousands of raspberry plants, canes and stuff, so that we can make a maze. I really want to do that. But it could be other berries too. Does anyone know what has a good symbiotic relationship with raspberries? Other berries that work good for a healthy ecosystem? Because we don't know. Skids make good garden boxes. Skids, as in pallets? maybe for on the wall. Is that what you mean? Like, because I've seen that where people put them on the walls and then they plant stuff in there. Uh, the garden boxes probably are not going to cost, or sorry, are probably unique, but it's a little different. Raspberries, we have all of them growing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we. But like, what else? More raspberries. Strawberries. Um, Boysenberries are thornless and raspberries. Okay. Whatever is, yeah.
I don't know if boysenberries grow here.
No?
Never heard of it. I don't know. Maybe.
Blackberries. Bears get along with raspberries. We don't have very many bears around this area. In fact, there was only, it's super rare. There was one last year where they accidentally killed it. They tranquilized it, but it fell and broke its neck or something like that.
Where's that?
In St. Albert.
What?
Yeah. You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah. And I believe there may have been one in Sherwood Park as well. It's super rare to get bears here. Although we were kind of wondering about the bear crap, or bear crap. We didn't know what it was. It's huge crap. But it wasn't like moose crap, because moose crap is like chocolate almonds that are huge. But this was like huge crap. And then I asked you guys what you thought it was, and a lot of people said bear. But bears are so rare here that it's kind of hard to believe that it would be bear. Now, could it be a cougar? I don't know what cougar crap looks like. And we do have cougars here more often than bears, but they're also very rare. But there was a sighting last year a couple times.
There was someone asking about the price of the robot.
The price of the robot downstairs I showed in the last vlog, those guys are $100. I have two of them. They both look different, but if you look on my Instagram, on the My Hands Gallery Instagram, you can see one in the background of my last photo. Actually, you can Google bear in St. Albert and see the stories and pics.
Did you say the price?
Oh yeah, $100. Canadian. We used to get bear when I was young and we lived in Lower Michigan. Yeah, actually, you can Google. Yeah, bear in St. Albert. Yeah. They like tranquilized it and then it died somehow. I think it broke its neck. I could be wrong.
It's really sad.
Yeah, because they were just going to move it. And then they accidentally killed it. Whoops. Have I really only been on for 47 minutes? Yeah, I still spent less. I spent way more than I thought I was going to, but I spent less than what I could sell it for. But I'm not going to sell it. I could sell it probably for, if I'm patient, I could probably sell it for maybe up to 25 grand. Because it's in such good condition. There's so many low miles. It has so many good aftermarket parts. It has a good lift. It drives nicely. It just needs a few, let's say, fixes, but I'm probably going to do something else. So the headliner is ripped. The door panel, driver's side, where the buttons are, that thing's broken. And I think there's a couple other things. So the headliner, I'm thinking about doing something more creative with it. I was thinking about sewing together a whole bunch of, not flags, but like bandanas and like this and that and whatever, but I'm not sure.
Can Ashley get up into the truck easily?
Can Ashley get in the truck easily? She can get in, but not easily. It's funny. If there was a hand, like I have a steering wheel to grab onto, so it's easier for me. If there was a handle, then she could easier do it, but there's no handle. There's no holy shit handle or anything.
Especially in jeans.
She says especially in jeans it's hard.
Yeah.
Step stool, yeah. So I was thinking about putting on running boards, which will help, because then it'll be about 6 inches lower to step. So, yeah. Get old Western shirts and make seat covers. Well, I don't want a seat cover. I was thinking about getting a bench seat for the front. The back already has a bench seat. I was thinking about getting an older one for the back. Yeah, I don't know. The seats are not... The interior in general is not in great condition. You need one of those bars that run along the sides. Yeah, a running board. Yeah, I'm going to put those on. It's good for rocks and stuff too, because here again, rust is an issue. So you want to keep your paint as good as possible. So running boards will help with that. Anyways, oh no, it says I'm been live for 47 minutes again, so it's just counting 40. Step that bolts to the bottom of the Ford truck. So yeah, I don't like those, but I know what you're talking about. They look, they look.
Take away from the.
Yeah, they take away from the aesthetic. Yeah, yeah. A running board though, like a nice, minimalist running board looks pretty sexy. So I'll probably do that. You can get inside, pull me up handle. You can get side.
What is your cool license plate?
What is my cool license plate? I don't know if it's necessarily cool, but it just says maker. It's the same license plate I had on my other truck. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I've been on for a while now. Hopefully I answered some of your questions good. Hopefully. Probably gonna get off now because I have stuff to do. Can't just talk to you all day long. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. If you guys could check out my social media and see what I'm up to there. The next vlog is gonna be, I have something to show you guys, which I think is gonna be kind of cool. So, loganberries. Do you know what loganberries are?
No.
But Saskatoons,
Saskatoon.
we are gonna plant Saskatoon trees. The thing is though, is that they keep dying here. So I had Saskatoons at my mom's house. They're all dead. I don't want them to die. But anyways, I can't wait to put out the next vlog. I don't know when I'll be done it, but I got right behind this wall. It's kind of cool. Anyways, you should start your seedlings now. Yes. Anyways, thanks. Everyone stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't hoard stuff because it doesn't help and it's not needed. All right, bye. X.